Hi everyone, this is a video for anyone that was locked up, fined, denied access to loved ones, those that lost a job, any kind of situation that arose from either a lockdown, mask wearing, etc, etc. Don't need to go into any more than that. I think everyone knows by now the suffering that everybody received from, when was it, December 19, January 2020 onwards. So I'm going to read out what I found and how you can actually get some kind of justice if that's what you intend to do. So it says, guidance on the exercise of police powers under Regulation 7 brackets 1 of the Health Protection Coronavirus Number 2 Regulations Northern Ireland 2020. So the same will be somewhere in government website, because in Northern Ireland we have a slightly different setup, but however the principles are still the same. So it goes on to say, the purpose of this guidance is to set out the basic principles underpinning the power of a relevant person to take action under Regulation 7-1, to provide guidance to relevant persons with powers under Regulation 7-1 or brackets whatever 1 as to how and when they should exercise those powers. C, to provide members of the public with information as to how they can expect Regulation 7 brackets 1 powers to be exercised. Relevant persons exercising powers under Regulation 7 brackets 1 should be aware that any action taken thereunder will potentially impact on the rights of individuals. Relevant persons should be familiar with the provisions of the following. There we are. A. European Convention on Human Rights. B. Human Rights Act 1998. C. Convention on the Rights of a Child. 5. In exercising any power under Regulation 7, let's just forget that bit now. The relevant person should be particularly cognizant of the following. The rights to respect for private and family life and the home under Article 8. The rights to freedom of peaceful assembly and freedom of association with others under Article 11. The prohibition on discrimination under Article 14. The right to peaceful enjoyment of possessions under Article 1. The best interests of the child as primary consideration under Article 3. There is something here that I didn't actually know about. In my case, why I've received a summons to court nearly 2.5 years later, or 2.5 years later exactly, is beyond me, because none of this was made clear to anybody, even if it wasn't really making any difference. But the police weren't there until I actually left the park, and I was there for a peaceful assembly, and so were the BBC, and I'm pretty sure that they haven't received the summons. So you can't do this retrospective stuff, it's no good. It says, while the power in regulation is broadly construed, relevant persons should adopt a graduated approach to enforcement of the regulations, moving only to deploy the regulation where they consider it necessary and proportionate to do so. Where a relevant person suspects either a breach of the regulations or considers there is a need to enforce any of regulations 4 to 6, they should adopt the 4 E's approach. In the first instance, they should seek to engage with any individual who may be in breach of the regulations. Then it says engagement should be followed by the relevant person giving a clear explanation. So that's 2 E's so far. Then the third one, encourage. Where the relevant person encounters resistance, they should take all reasonable steps to encourage the individual to comply. This is just no good, is it? This may include explaining the risks to public health and ongoing pressures on the NHS. This is complete bollocks, isn't it? It may also include explaining the possible sanctions for breach of Regulation 46C and according to blah 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 blah. Just trying to find the 4th E. Can I have an E, please, Bob? Where the relevant person has taken all reasonable steps available to secure the compliance with the regulations without success, they may then consider whether to utilise any powers under Regulation 7, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, not actually finding the last E. If anyone knows where the last E is, what the last E is, please do, again, let me know in the comments section. Can't find the last one about the last E. It's not there. So in a nutshell, as I said in the other videos that I've done, they knew all along that your human rights were being breached. All along. It's going to make a lot of people very angry. A lot of people, unfortunately, will not be here now to stand up and defend themselves because they died. And they died because they were in a care home or whatever situation it was. They were denied from being visited by, you know, friends, family, relations, whoever they were, denied a visit because of I'll call it an agenda, alright? If I start using other words, YouTube will take the video down. But if there it is in black and white, as I said, the information's out there, freely available. All the governments all across the world have probably got it written into their legislation somewhere that they knew full well that your human rights are being breached. So you have the power to take it into your hands and to do whatever you decide to do next. It's a rotten old life, isn't it? But that's how it is, and it's a funny old game, Saint, as well. Have a lovely day.